Okay. Hello and top of the morning to you. This is Shia Diamonds, and I am back and here for you once again. Now, today we are going to be talking a little bit about my spiritual journey, and I will also be sharing a message with you all. Okay, so I am so glad to just be all the way back. Um, I had to take time off in order to become one with spirit and really find myself, with spirit. And so the journey was beautiful. It was delightful. It was challenging. It was happy. It was sad. It was, it was everything that I could have asked for. So I just wanted to say that for you guys because I don't know. Listen, don't be shaken by unexpected things happening in your life. Okay, that's one thing that I really want to say. Um, you know, talking about the needs and wants and desires of our hearts and manifestations, and we'll still be talking about angels, and we'll still be talking about angels, demons, and we'll be talking about just all kinds of things like acceptance, wanting acceptance, breathing your way through depression. We'll also talk about depression, what it actually is, and how we can pretty much get a grip on depression, how to strengthen our minds and our hearts. We'll also be talking about relationships. And I think that this time the journey will be a little bit different, of what I imagined. I just want to be more open and more comfortable when it comes to, me being on camera and me being able to serve you guys properly. And so that's what this is going to be all about. As you guys know, I do, I write a lot of notes and, write things down because it helps me when I was a child. It's not that I'm not smart. It's not that I can't remember or anything like that. But when I was a child, Spirit had me go back into my childhood and kind of see the things that I had missed and the things that I had went through. And so it just helps when I write things down. It's more it helps me to memorize it more clearly in my brain because of traumatic events that I had experienced. And so I was just like, oh, that's what was going on, because sometimes, we think, oh, we remember everything or whatever, until spirit takes us back into our childhood and really, like, work out some of the issues that maybe we had, or just it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It could be something that, maybe you've always gotten what you wanted when you were a child, and so it affects your life today as an adult. It doesn't have to be a traumatic experience. It's just an experience that basically had a result had a result. And so, when we start mastering our minds, we have to first go in and we have to start from the beginning fresh. In order to do so, we have to learn our own self all over again and become one with our own self all over again. So that's, that's the journey. Part of it, that's part of the journey, and then the other part is, having to go through separating yourself from friends and family and everything to even, take on this journey, because it takes a lot of your time, it takes a lot of your patience, it takes a lot of your energy and your efforts to put into. You have to actually want this in order for you to go through it. Okay. Otherwise you'll probably experience some of it and then back away, because it can become too harsh, or it can become too emotional, or there's things that we don't want to deal with right then and there, or it might not be the right time for you to deal with it at that time, especially when you have a really really busy schedule, when you have children and everything like that. It's like, okay, how do I make time for this? But here are some words of encouragement. If you can take, a 5 minutes to yourself, when you're in the shower, when you're even in the restroom, when you're doing your hair, or even while you're cooking, those, minutes, in between, dealing with your family, with your loved ones, with your coworkers, and all of that. If you're running a business, those few minutes are very critical moments, and precious moments that you can take time on yourself, getting to learn spirit, getting to know yourself, becoming the master over your mind, meditating even. You can meditate while you're cooking, you can meditate while you're in the shower, you can meditate pretty much wherever. And meditation does not mean you have to close your eyes. And I know that we do a lot of closing our eyes, and we do breathing sessions, but that's not the only way that you can get your meditation on. Just like right now, I'm meditating now. I'm meditating. So, and I'm focused on what we're going to be talking about and how to deliver it while I'm sitting up here doing all this talking. So, one of the messages, of course, are written down, and then as we, get further into time and further into practice, then maybe it will be easier for me to just, freely talk to you guys with, you know, more comfortability, and a clearer mind. Okay. All right. So this is a message for you guys. Remember how wise you are and how much wisdom that you have gained over this amount of time. Okay. And the time is 2021, from January until now. Right now is the end of April. Remember how wise you are and how much wisdom that you have gained. Another thing is to never limit yourself on the amount of wisdom that you can gain, and the amount of knowledge that you can have, because our brain is very complex, and we have a bunch of storage space in our storehouse, and there is room for all the knowledge that we can possibly ever take in a lifetime, and even more. Okay. Cell phones have nothing on our brains. All right. All right. So this is a time for reflection. This is a time for healing. And this is a time for self-love. So when we're talking about self-love, I'm talking about not only taking care of, just the regular day-to-day responsibilities, or not just only taking care of, your family, your children, even though that is very important and crucial. It is also more crucial for you to take time on yourself. I don't care if it's, getting up, doing, for us women, getting up, doing your hair, doing your makeup. And speaking of hair and makeup, I'm going to just cut that off. I was actually going to do something else totally different with my hair. I usually wear, my wigs and everything like that, which I absolutely love, even though I have a limited amount. But Spirit said, nope, you better get on camera just like that. There's somebody that needs a message. So Hopefully, this is a message for you. And if this message is for you, because I only have a few subscribers, so if this is a message for you, just go ahead and like, or go ahead and comment, below, so that I can know that I fulfilled my mission today. Okay. And if you're too nervous to comment, just like the video, so that way our energy can connect and I can better, provide the information that you all need. All right. So, yes, healing and self love, getting up, doing your makeup, doing your hair, making sure, everything that's for you is done first. Even if you have to get up an hour earlier than you usually get up, it is great if you can make the time and the effort to do so. It is very healthy for you to do so, because when we don't take time on ourselves and we're giving and giving to other people and everyone else, it's like we're no good for ourselves anymore. And then when we become no good for ourselves, it can lead to anxiety, it can lead to depression, it can lead to worry, it can lead to all kinds of stress, and we become depleted, and then we don't really have that much to give to others. We're dragging along, um, just through life, unhealthy. That is very unhealthy for the self. God gave you this beautiful life to live, and it's like, if you can't take time on yourself, if you can't, sit up there and do what you need to do, for yourself, to, self improvement, and for your self worth, then what was the point? You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure, God, and, or the universe, or whatever you would like to call it, our creator of this earth, I'm pretty sure that, he wants us to, experience the joy, experience the happiness, experience the laughter, and not focus on what we don't have, but to love what we do have. So if you do have your body, if you do have your mind, you know what I mean, if you do have your sight, if you can talk, if you can walk, if you can move your arms, and even if you can, even if one of those functions are gone, if you can hear me, you are supposed to be thankful for that, because that's what you need. That was your lesson in life. You see what I mean? It wasn't, if you don't have one of these things, then that was what life had to offer you, and that what was needed from you. So I hope that didn't sound insensitive, because I've seen people that are successful with one arm. I've seen, people that are successful with no eyes. I've seen people that are very successful in life with no legs. So it's really no excuse for you not to take time on yourself, and for you to, you know, unless you're just completely, disabled, to where you can't do anything for yourself at all whatsoever, even not even think for yourself, then, okay, then God will have people to protect you, to take care of you. But if you can use all of these functions, then you need to be thankful, okay? Thankful, even if it's just one, two, three things that are not there. You still need to work toward it. I'm here to encourage you. And I used to work with people with disabilities, and I have seen people with disabilities do some great, extraordinary things that, we, with our limiting beliefs, put on to people with disabilities. I've seen people with disabilities do things better than people without a disability. So there's no excuse in my book. All right. Look, not in here, not where I wrote it at. It's no excuses, for you to, try to live your best life to the fullest, to your abilities. I've seen people play basketball with one arm. So I don't want to hear any excuses from none of y'all. Okay. so, so yeah, it's a time for reflection. You see, and it's a time for healing and a time for, self-love. Nurture yourself, and make sure you guys are writing down your ideas. Make sure you're writing down all of your goals and your plans, and making vision boards so that it can help you to further manifest your dreams. um, please be patient with yourself. Do not force anything. Understand that healing takes time. Things take time. Healing, learning, research, starting up your own business. If you want to, further your education so you can get your dream job, all of that takes patience. But understand that it can be done. It doesn't matter if it takes patience, because whether you're taking the time to do those things or not, time is still moving forward with or without you, boo. So you're going to have to do what you need to do in that time, all right? And make the best of it. Next is your goals. When you're setting your goals, you can set your big goals, but make sure you're setting a lot of smaller goals that you can achieve, and then put your bigger goals around those smaller goals that you're achieving, so that the little steps that you're taking every day will eventually lead into those larger goals. you know um, Another thing is letting go of toxic people out of your life. And it's not saying that, oh, these people can never, be around you again, or these people won't change. I'm not saying any of that. It's just that when you are surrounded with with toxic individuals, when you are surrounded with toxic individuals, it kind of pulls you down in with it when you're trying to change your life or make self improvements, or when you're trying to reach your goals. So, you got to get that out of there completely, for the time being. And if people don't want to change, or they don't want to improve themselves, once you're on your spiritual journey and everything like that, it will affect you, and it will be detrimental to you, trying to surround yourself with those toxic individuals when you're trying to basically be on a different frequency. So if you're trying to raise your frequency higher, and everyone around you is on a lower frequency, then it's going to be harder for you to grow. So sometimes you have to separate yourself. Not saying you can never see those people again, not saying that you have to stay away from those people, for life, but maybe sometimes people do need to, sometimes you do have to move on from certain individuals, because it's kind of like, hey, I don't do those things anymore. So yeah. All right, next. Remember, everyone is not your friend. You have to test that first. Okay, and almost cussed. Yes, you will need to test that SHRT first. Okay, remember, it takes time to have friends. Not everybody is just your friend out of nowhere. I don't think so. No, you have to test it. You got to wait a couple of months, see if the test worked. You know what I'm saying? Then they got to pass another test. You see what I mean? So be careful, because everyone is not your friend. And, forget bullcrap people. You know, um, People that you feel like you need to prove yourself to and everything like that, like, you don't need to be around those people when you're on your spiritual journey and when you're trying to improve your life, because then your life becomes about them, and then you forget about you. You'll be busy trying to please everybody, and then you haven't even accomplished what your mission here on earth is. You'll find yourself in a whole nother different career path. You'll find yourself way somewhere where you're not even supposed to be. Okay. So do not be around people that you have to prove yourself to. If they can't accept you the way that you are, and they can't respect your journey, then hey, gotta move forward. um you know People need to prove themselves and be out here wasting time, is just silly, because those individuals that you're trying to prove yourself to and that you're trying to get them to accept you, they're doing nothing but pulling on your energy. You're going to have to let that go. All the past hurts need to first be reflected on and then need to be released. And in order to do that, you need to be able to take time on yourself and get away from those toxic people. Otherwise, you're creating more negative situations that you're just going to have to work through in the future. Okay. You can either do it now or you can wait till you're almost 100 years old and do it whenever you choose to do it. The information's here. Okay. And I'm not trying to be just so blunt like that, but I do need to be assertive because I have to let you know how serious this situation is. And that wasn't really as assertive as I actually can be. All right. So making sure that we're taking care of ourselves and we're breathing meditations when we do have time. It's really great for that. Doing, Reiki. So far, that's great. And that has worked for me. And those are the things that I had done to heal and become the master over my own world. um, Another thing, get organized. That was one thing that I needed to work on because my boys were younger. It was like I was always at like fast paced movement. And then when I wasn't moving fast, I was exhausted and I was tired. I was not trying to just organize everything else. Now that they're older, it gives me more time to be able to organize and get things in order. you know Make some great food, make great meals for you and for your family. Make it healthy. Make sure your plate is very colorful. Okay, I'm not trying to control your food intake or anything like that, but I'm saying, when I say make sure your plate is very colorful, I mean make sure that you have, your proteins and your colorful veggies, your red bell peppers, green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, orange bell peppers. I love bell peppers. They're so great for you. Your carrots, your peas, all that great stuff. Make sure that is on your plate when you are eating, because it is going to make your spiritual journey a little bit more easy when you don't have a lot of toxic or too sugary or too much salty foods inside of your body, because those things kind of like weigh you down. If you're looking to have more energy in your life, if you're looking to, just better your life and better your thinking and everything like that, yes, please add all of those fruits and vegetables to your plate. Okay. Um, and make sure you are taking appropriate action towards your goals without delay. So don't ask the universe for what you are not ready for. If you are not ready for it, do not ask, because you'll get it and then you won't be ready for it and then you'll lose it yourself. Okay, so whatever you are planning on, wanting, needing, whatever is included in your goals, do the preps first. Take care of the small goals first, and then you can, receive your blessings, because you've gotten everything out of the way and you have made a clear path to be able to receive. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, there is so much just um hmm, what else? Oh, do not self-sabotage. Okay.